The printouts are ready? Yeah. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I feel so overwhelmed and grateful to be sitting here at the foothills of Giriraj Govardhan in front of so many Vaishnavas with the blessings of His Holiness Satchidananda Swami Maharaj. I offer my humble obeisances to you, Maharaj, and all of you to give me the necessary blessings and empowerment with your loving and affectionate glances and good wishes, so that I can speak on a subject matter that Maharaj lovingly wanted me to speak on. So we had multiple options. Which episode of Srimad-Bhagavatam must be discussed here and the next 3 days. Maharaj chose a few, and as a humble servant, I am just trying to speak them. So today we'll discuss on one subject, and what we are going to discuss tomorrow and after tomorrow will be kept as suspense. But now we are already here, so we can reveal the topic for today's discussion, next 3 hours. It is Uddhava's visit to Vrindavan, from the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. It's a very elevated subject matter. I honestly feel incapable of describing this, but yet with the blessings of Giriraj, and as yesterday Maharaj was saying, whatever we do here in Vrindavan will be inconceivably blessed by Vrindadevi, Purnamasi and Giriraj Govardhan. So with their blessings and with the blessings of Maharaj and all of you, we'll try to discuss on this topic for next couple of hours. And this morning we were hearing from Maharaj a very, very wonderful explanation on the mode of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right from the recitation of the shloka of Tadasmasharam Hridayam Batedam, how the heart is steel framed, and when the heart is steel framed, we cannot get any affectionate tears when we are chanting the holy names of the Lord. Or although the holy name of the Lord has the potency to bring tears in our eyes. So right from that moment till the end of the class, Maharaj was presenting so many things. The meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and how this Krishna Mantra, which is non-different from the Supreme Lord, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is a prayer to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, reciprocates with us according to the mood in which we are chanting. Actually, in our scriptures, there's a beautiful shloka about chanting the holy names of Radha and Krishna. Maharaj was counting this morning. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There are 8 Hares. 8 times. Out of 16 names, 8 names are Srimati Radharani's names. And 8 names are Krishna's names. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a combination of the names of Radha and Krishna. And how chanting this special sweet mantra, Radha Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, will invoke the blessings of the Lord depending on our mood, our consciousness, is so beautifully, eloquently described by Maharaj with so many Shastric quotations, reading several statements from the scriptures and purports and commentaries. So I remember one shloka in this connection. Radheti nama navasundara sidhu mugdham Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gadha dugdham Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam Kritva tadaiva pibame rasanekshudarte. Radheti nama navasundara sidhu mugdham. The name of Radha is Navasundara. Nava means very fresh. Nava is new. It also can mean fresh. Sundara means beautiful. It can also mean delicious. Sidhu means nectar. So Radheti nama navasundara sidhu. If you have that sheets, I think 2 days back we gave sheets. I remember keeping that shloka in the sheet. Radhe, you can also recite once, then we'll discuss the meaning. Radheti nama navasundara sidhu mugdham Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gadha dugdham Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam Kritva tadaiva pibame rasanekshudarte. So it must be in the sheet that you received on the second day, maybe page number 3, right? The syllabus that we have not covered. So I'm not in a Bhakti Vaibhav class or Bhakti Shastri class, so I'm more relaxed now. I can extend and I can wind up. So the meaning of this shloka is like this. Radheti nama navasundara sidhu mugdham. The name of Srimati Radharani is like very fresh and delicious nectar. Amrit. Second line. Krishneti nama madhuradbhuta gadha dugdham. The name of Krishna is Madhura Adbhuta Gadha Dugdham. What is Dugdham? Milk. Gadha Dugdham means condensed milk, rabdi. Madhura Adbhuta. Madhura means sweet. Adbhuta means wonderful. So Krishna's name is sweet and wonderful condensed milk. That is Krishna's name. And Radharani's name is fresh and delicious nectar. Right? Radha name is there, Krishna name is there. Hare Krishna. Then third line. Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam. Surabhiraga. Raga means love, affection, enthusiasm, eagerness, a longing, an attraction to chant. So, to this beautiful combination of the delicious nectar of Radha's name and condensed milk of Krishna's name, you need to add some ice. Hima means ice. And that ice is your love, your enthusiasm, your eagerness, your attraction, your absorption to chant. Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam. So, Prabhupada says, in Nectar of Devotion book, Prabhupada says, sweet rice or kheer must be taken when it is cold. So, to this combination of this special kheer made of Radha's name and Krishna's name, you add the ice of your eagerness. Then, Kritva tadaiva pibame rasanekshudarte. Then, the thirsty tongue is satisfied. Rasane, rasa means this tongue. Shudarte, this tongue is very thirsty. When we are speaking gossip and materialistic subject matters and many other non-devotional topics, then we are tasting some mundane stuff. But if we are tasting Radha Krishna's name, then it's like tasting nectar, tasting this condensed milk. So the tongue is constantly hankering for this kind of nourishing beverage, nourishing food. But somehow in this material world, the conditioned soul is inspired to taste all kinds of unnecessary stuff, and the tongue remains very dry like a desert. So to moisten this dry desert like tongue, we need to put the kheer of the combination of the name of Radha and Krishna. Sarvakshanam surabhiraga himena ramyam kritva tadaiva pibame. Tadaiva pibame. Drink only this. Tada eva pibame. Rasanek shudarte. You're thirsty? Drink only this. When you're thirsty, if you drink many kinds of beverages in this world, you will not be satisfied. The spiritual senses are of a spirit soul are hankering for this nectar, spiritual nectar. Just like somebody is drowning in this material ocean. He's thirsty. There is so much water around him. If he drinks that ocean water, will his thirst be satisfied, quenched? Not possible. There's so much water in the ocean, but it's not useful to drink. On the bank of the ocean, people will feel, in the middle of the ocean also, people will feel thirsty. They need some proper water. Similarly, we are in material ocean. So for us to nourish our hearts on a spiritual plane, we need spiritual nectar of the names of Radha and Krishna. That's the meaning of that shloka. So you have been given another sheet today. So Maharaj requested me to speak a little bit about Govardhan and then discuss the Uddhava's visit to Vrindavan. Before that, let's discuss a little bit about Vrindavan from this first shloka. Vrindaranyamananya bhakti rasadam govinda padambuja dvandve mandadiyo. Maybe I'll recite once and then we can recite, that will become a little easier. Vrindaranyamananya bhakti rasadam govinda padambuja dvandve mandadiyo vidanti nahita dvasam nacha chana shashate sandranandara sambudhir niravadhir yasya virasti dhruvam no majjanti kubuddhayo bata samudvigna sudukhairapi. Now you can recite line by line. Vrindaranyamananya bhakti rasadam govinda padambuja Vrindaranyamananya bhakti rasadam govinda padambuja Dvandve mandadidhiyo vidanti nahi tadvasam cha na shashate. Sandranandara sambudhir nirabadhir yatra virastid dhruvam. No majjanti kubuddhayo batasamudvigna sudukhairapi. In the Vrindavana Mahimamrita, this shloka comes, and the meaning of this shloka is Vrindaranyam ananya bhakti rasadam Govinda padambuja. What is the glory of Vrindavan Dham? The gopis of Vrindavan say in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, in the Venu Gita, they say that Yaddevaki sutapadambuja labdha lakshmi. This land of Vrindavan has attained the opulence or Lakshmi, the great fortune or the opulence of receiving Krishna's footprints. In Vrindavan, Krishna does not wear shoes. He walks barefoot. So when Krishna is walking barefoot, his divine footprints are imprinted on the land of Vrindavan, and no cow or calf or peacock or monkey or parrot or any other creature, Gopa or Gopi, would disturb those footprints. To understand where Krishna is very easy. Just follow the footprints. When Krishna jumped into Kalya lake, all the Vrajavasis living in the village, they got some indications, some kind of omens in the sky and in their bodies also. So they felt that Krishna must be in danger. So they wanted to immediately see Krishna, where Krishna is. So they just followed the footprints of Krishna and they reached Kalya bank, the bank of Kalya lake. So to find out where Krishna is, you don't have to put Google Maps. The map is shown by Krishna's footprints in Vrindavan. So that is the glory of Vrindavan. So the shloka says, Vrindaranyamananya bhakti rasadam Govinda padambuja. This Vrindaranyam, this Vrindavan, will give us Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti means that bhakti, that devotional service which is rendered with absolutely no distractions or deviations towards any other goals. That is called Ananya Bhakti. How many times in the Bhagavad Gita Krishna spoke about Ananya Bhakti? So many times. Ananyaschinta yanto mam yejanaha paryupasate. So Ananya. Anya means something else. Ananya means nothing else except Krishna. So when we come to Vrindavan, we'll get that Ananya Bhakti. Vrindaranyam Ananya Bhakti Rasadam. Ananya Bhakti towards whom? Towards wealth? Towards Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim, etc. No. Govinda Padambuja. So we'll get Ananya Bhakti, unflinching and one-pointed devotion towards Krishna's, Govinda's lotus feet in Vrindavan. That's the glory of coming to Vrindavan. Vrindaranyam Ananya Bhakti Rasadam Govinda Padambuja. Dvandve. Krishna has two lotus feet. So therefore, Padambuja Dvandve. But the problem is, Dvandve mandadhiyo vidanti nahitad vasam channa shashate. But foolish people, mandadhiyo means people who are not so intelligent. Their dhiya is very manda. Manda sumanda matayoha manda bhagya upadritaha. Kaliyuga people. They don't understand the glory of Vrindavan. They don't desire to reside in Vrindavan. Of course, residence in Vrindavan must be offered by a spiritually elevated personality or spiritual master. So it's not that one purchases a ticket and comes here. But the point is, here the sense is that less intelligent people cannot understand the glory of coming to Vrindavan or being in Vrindavan or the glory of Vrindavan. That's the whole point, right? Dvandve mandadhiyo vidanti nahitad vasam channa shashati. They don't desire Vrindavan. Sandranandara sambudhir niravadhir yatra virastid dhruvam. What is the greatness of Vrindavan? Sandranandara sambudhir. Ananda is bliss. The real bliss is derived by rasa. And this is not normal ananda or basic ananda of rasa. This is sandrananda rasambudhir. So ananda rasa means that happiness that a spirit soul feels in one's spiritual relationship with Krishna, that sambandha with Krishna. Rasa means a relationship in one sense. So, Ananda Rasa, that Rasa, when our relationship and interaction with Krishna, our connection with Krishna will give us real Ananda. And that Ananda is Sandra, very condensed. And this is condensed Ananda of ocean. It's an ocean of condensed Ananda. Sandranandara Sambudhir Niravadhir. Niravadhir means without any obstacles, without any hindrances. So Vrindaranya, this whole land of Vrindavan can bestow upon all the sincere devotees this condensed ocean of spiritual bliss in relationship with Krishna. Sandranandara Sambudhir Niravadhir Yatra Virasti Dhruvam. Dhruvam means definitely we'll get, if you are in the right consciousness. As Maharaj is preparing our consciousness, right? So if someone comes to Vrindavan with this consciousness of just wanting unflinching bhakti unto Krishna, Vrindavan will bestow it. That's the power of this land. But no majjanti kubuddhayo bata samudvignaha sudukhairapi. No majjanti, people don't take interest in Vrindavan. Kubuddhayo, because they have bad intelligence. Earlier they were called as mandadhiya, now they are called as kubuddhi. Mandadhiya means less intelligent, and kubuddhi means bad intelligence. So mandadhiya means your intelligence is less, kubuddhi means intelligence is polluted. What pollutes the intelligence? Desire for sense enjoyment pollutes the intelligence. When the intelligence is polluted by distraction towards material objects and vishaya, material sense objects, then one cannot understand the glory of Vrindavan. No majjanti kubuddhayo bata samudvignaha sudukhairapi. And what is this person's condition? Samudvignaha, he is completely immersed in unlimited anxieties. Samudvignaha. And sudukhairapi, he is extremely distressful. When you are immersed in so many difficulties, you have to be in distress. Although he is experiencing so many difficulties in this material world, although he is so distressful, still because of the kubuddhi and mandadhiya, they are not recognizing the glory of Vrindavan and taking shelter of Vrindavan and begging for Ananya Bhakti. Right? So, as Prabhupada says, this Vrindavan is not just a geographical location, it's a state of consciousness. Although someone is not living in Vrindavan, Vrindavan may be in their hearts. Moramana Vrindavana, as Chaitanya Charitamrita says. So when somebody is in the right consciousness of doing unflinching bhakti unto Krishna, although physically they may not be in Vrindavan, Vrindavan is there within them. But when the right consciousness is not there, although physically somebody is in Vrindavan, they are so far, far, far away from Vrindavan. All this is because of kubuddhi, interest in unnecessary objects in this world. That's what Bhagavatam also teaches us. Srimad-Bhagavatam 2nd canto says, Pibanti ye bhagavata atmanas satam kathamritam shravana puteshu sambhritam punanti te vishaya vidushitashayam vrajanti tacharana saroruhantikam. Pibanti ye bhagavata atmanas satam. We have to do this. We have to drink this nectar of Bhagavatam. Bhagavata atmanas satam. Kathamritam shravana puteshu sambhritam. We have to fill our ear holes with Kathamritam, nectarian Bhagavat Katha. Shravana puteshu sambhritam. You know what will happen then? The result of filling our ear holes with the nectar of Bhagavat Katha is Punanti te vishaya vidushitashayam. Punanti means to be purified. Purification from what? Vishaya vidushita ashayam. Our ashayam, our aspirations in this world are dushita, are polluted by vishaya, sense enjoyment. The polluted aspirations of a conditioned soul are purified by hearing Harikatha. So, hear Harikatha, respect Krishna and his divine abode, and then come out of that polluted intelligence and develop Ananya Bhakti. So that's about Vrindavan, little bit. We spoke a little bit about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We spoke a little bit about Vrindavan. Let's speak a little bit about Govardhan. I am quoting from Upadeshamrit. This is Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Instruction. Vaikunthajanito vara madhupuri tatra pirasotsavad. Vrindaranyamudara pani ramana tatrapi govardhanah. Radha kundamihapi gokulapate prema amrita plavanat. Kuryadasya virajato giritate sevam vivekinakaham. Vaikuntha janito vara madhupuri. Even superior to Vaikuntha is Madhupuri, this Mathura Mandal. And in this great Mathura Mandal, the best spot is Vrindavan, Vrindaranyam. And why Vrindaranyam is so great? Because Rasotsava. It's in Vrindavan that Krishna performed this Rasa dance with his topmost devotees, gopis. Therefore, Vrindaranyam is the best spot. The next, Udara Pani Ramana Tatrapi Govardhanat. Even in this Vrindavan, what is the best spot? Govardhan. Why? Udara Pani Ramana, this Supreme Lord Krishna on his little finger of the left hand, he lifted Govardhan mountain. Therefore, this spot is the best spot in Vrindavan. And in Govardhan, in the vicinity of Govardhan, what is the best spot? Radha Kundami Hapi Gokulapate. So this is how Govardhan's supremacy and greatness is established in Nectar of Instruction by Rupa Goswami. Then Raghunath Das Goswami in his Govardhana Vasa Prarthana Dashakam glorifies Govardhan mountain in this way. Let's recite this. Giri Nrupa Haridasa Shreni Varyeti Nama. Giri Nrupa Haridasa Shreni Varyeti Nama. Mrutamidam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat. Vrajanavati lakatve klupta vedaihi sphutam me. Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam. Nirupadhi karunena Shri Sachinandanena. Tvayi kapati shathopi tvat priyena arpitosmi. Iti khalu mama yogyatam tam agrahnan. Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam. This shloka is teaching us very important glories of Giriraj Govardhan. Giri Nrupa Haridasa Shriyani Varyeti Nama. So, Sreni means group of mountains. So, in this group of mountains, Varya, the best mountain is Giri. This Giriraj is Giri Nrupa. Nrupa means king. Raj also means king. So, Giri Nrupa or Giriraj, both are same. Giri Nrupa Haridasa Shreni Varyeti Nama. So this Giriraj Govardhan is the best of all mountains, the king of all mountains. Who said this? Who declared Govardhan mountain to be the best and the king of all mountains? He says in the next line, Mrutamidam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat. This declaration that Giriraj, Govardhan is the best of all mountains emanated from the mouth of Srimati Radharani, which is like moon, right? Radhika Vaktra Chandrat. The moon-like face of Srimati Radharani emanated this great, profound declaration that Giriraj Govardhan is the best of all mountains, king of all mountains. Where did she declare? In the Venu Gita, 10th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam, 21st chapter. In the Venu Gita she declared, Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varyo yadrama Krishna charanasparasha pramodaha manam tanoti sahago gadayostayoryat pani yasuyavasakandara kandamulaihi. She said, Haridasa varya, Hantaya madrirabala haridasa varyo. This Govardhan mountain is the best of all servants of Lord Hari. Srimad-Bhagavatam describes 3 devotees as servants of Lord Hari. One is Yudhishthir Maharaj, second is Uddhava, whose story we are going to discuss in few minutes, and third is the Haridasa Varya, Govardhan. Right? So Radharani personally glorified. This is the nature of devotees. Srimati Radharani is definitely the best of all devotees of Krishna. But she says, Giriraj is the best of all devotees of Krishna. So a devotee does not have insecurity in appreciating another devotee. If I glorify this devotee, if all public attention goes on this devotee, what will happen to me? Who will look at me? That's not the mood. Srimati Radharani glorifies Govardhan as the best of all devotees, Haridasa Varya. So because of Haridasa Varya, Giriraj Govardhan's selfless service to the Lord, she recommends even a struggling sadhaka also, Krishna, this devotee is so nice, please accept. Better than me. This devotee is better than me, please accept. And Krishna has to accept, because Radharani says. And she says it. You may see that she's encouraging this devotee by saying that you are better than me. But she literally feels like that. To encourage someone, you speak good words about someone, that is fine. Within the heart, one may still feel, I am better, they are not so better. But still, it's my magnanimity that I am speaking some good words about them and encouraging them in bhakti. Still, my position is maintained, my status quo is maintained. But she literally feels like that. This devotee is better than me. Why? Out of her humility. Out of her genuine humility she is feeling. And many devotees are like that. So yesterday we were discussing the story of Dhruva Maharaj from Bhagavatam. So after the Vaikuntha airplane came, Dhruva Maharaj, before boarding the airplane, he offered obeisances to all the devotees there, all the yogis and sages at Badrikashram. He is going to Vaikuntha and all these other sages are staying back in this earthly planet, but he is taking their blessings and offering obeisances and then going to Vaikuntha. He did not say, I am going to Vaikuntha, you still have a lot of time. For the Vaikuntha airplane to come and pick you up, I don't know how many lifetimes he will take. Right? I am better than you. It's established, it's proved. See, airplane is right in front of us. He had absolutely no such mood. He is humbly offering obeisances and taking their blessings. I am going to Vaikuntha. Please bless me so that I can serve the Lord nicely. He did not consider they are inferior to me. This is the mood of a Vaishnava. And another very, very important, finer Vaishnava character related nuance. So Dhruva Maharaj boarded the airplane, Vaikuntha airplane, and the Vaikuntha airplane is about to take off. Suddenly Dhruva Maharaj felt, I must jump off this plane. I cannot go to Vaikuntha. Why? All of you know. He remembered his mother. How can I go to Vaikuntha without my mother, Suniti, who first instructed me and inspired me to take shelter of Lord Vasudeva to fulfill any desire. So, understanding his desire, Nanda and Sunanda, the Vishnu Parshadas, Vishnu Dutas, they told Dhruva, see, there is another airplane going to Vaikuntha. In that airplane, your mother is there. Have you seen? Ah, yes, my mother is there. You both are going to Vaikuntha, don't worry. So, he's so grateful. 36,000 years back, Suniti Mata spoke a few words of inspiration, few shlokas to Dhruva Maharaj. You please take shelter of the Lord. Tvameva vatsashraya bhartya vatsalam mumukshubhir mrugya padabja paddhatim ananya bhave nija dharma bhavite manasya vasthapya bhajasva purusham. She said this. And few other shlokas. To recite all the shlokas, you may take 2 minutes. That's our counseling session. Maybe a few minutes of her counseling session, which she gave 36,000 years back, but still, without that 5 minutes or 10 minutes of counseling session, I would not have gone to Vaikuntha now. So a devotee whose heart is filled with gratitude does not forget even the slightest favor that one received from someone in spiritual life, even if it is 36,000 years back or 36 lifetimes back. That's what Dhruva is teaching us. So Dhruva and Suniti Mata, both were going to Vaikuntha. Meanwhile, Prabhupada writes a beautiful purport. You know what Srila Prabhupada writes there? Although Suniti Mata did not go to the forest, she did not perform tapasya by eating kapita fruits or drinking water once in 6 days, eating kapita fruits once in 3 days, breathing air once in 12 days, etc., etc. All these austerities Suniti Mata did not do, because she inspired her son to take shelter of the Lord and he became a pure devotee. By the strength of his devotion, she is also going. Of course, she is also a great Vaishnavi, no doubt. But in this context, Srila Prabhupada writes, with the strength of the devotional service of one of my disciples, may I go to Vaikuntha, or may I go to the spiritual world. He is the one who is taking everyone to the spiritual world. But he says, by the strength of the devotional service of some of my disciples, may I also get a chance to go. That is his humility. He's writing in the purport. You can read 4th canto, 12th chapter purports. Yesterday we read one purport on where Prabhupada emphasized on taking shelter of holy name in all circumstances. This is another purport. You can read, homework for you. You can search and read. So this is humility, where a devotee genuinely respects and appreciates service rendered by another devotee. Just like that, Srimati Radharani, although she is the supreme devotee of Krishna, she is glorifying Giriraj Govardhan is the best of all devotees of Krishna. Giri Nrupa Haridasa Shreni Varyeti Nama Mritamidam Uditam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat Vrajanavati Lakatve Klupta Vedaihi Sputam Me Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatvam Vrajanavati Lakatve. As soon as you see somebody's face, what hits your eye is the tilak, whether it is a small bindi, small dot, or a line, big tilak. That tilak on the forehead is very prominent in a person's face. Attention goes there. Similarly, if somebody sees the top of Vrindavan in Google Maps or whatever, Govardhan is strikingly visible like a tilak, right? Vrajanavati lakatve klupta vedaihi sputam. All the Vedas are glorifying that this Vrindavan, in this Govardhan mountain, is like tilak of Vrindavan, the identity of Vrindavan, that which is very prominently visible in Vrindavan, right? So that is the glory. Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatvam. Raghunath Das Goswami is praying, please give me some residence near you, O Govardhan. One more. Raghunath Das Goswami's humility, let's see. Nirupadhi karunena Shri Shachi Nandanena Tvayi kapati shathopi Tvat priyena arpitosmi Tvayi kapati shathopi Tvat priyena arpitosmi Iti khalu mama yogya Yogya tam tam agrhanan Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam. Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam. Who gave the opportunity to Raghunath Das Goswami to come in contact with Giriraj Govardhan? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How did he give? Nirupadhi karunena. By his causeless mercy, he gave. Nirupadhi karunena Shri Sachi Nandanena. The opportunity that we receive to come in contact with Giriraj Govardhan is only through Vaishnavas, only through devotees. In this Raghunath Das Goswami's case, it is through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Lord himself acting like a devotee. Nirupadhi karunena Shri Sachinandanena Tvayi kapati shathopi tvat priyena arpitosmi. Please be very careful in meditating on this line. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered Giriraj Shila to Raghunath Das Goswami so that Raghunath Das can worship and take care of Govardhan. But what is he saying? Tvayi tat priyena arpito asmi. He is not saying that the Lord has given Govardhan to him. He is saying that the Lord has given me to Govardhan. Raghunath Das goes, out of his causeless compassion and mercy upon me, the Lord has offered me in your care, O Giriraj Govardhan. Although we are taking care of deities or Giriraj Shila or doing any other service, it's not that we are taking care of that service is taking care of us. We are not taking care of the deity is taking care of us. We are not taking care of Giriraj Govardhan is taking care of me. That's what he says. Raghunath Das Goswami. Despite my disqualifications, another important line. Tvayi kapati shathopi tvat priyena arpitosmi tvat priya. Oh, Giriraj Govardhan, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loves you so much. You are so dear to him and he is so dear to you. So the Lord has given me, out of his compassion upon me, he has given me to you. When he has to describe himself, the word that he used is Nirupadhi karunena. When he described Govardhan, he used the word Priya. Priya means the Lord is dear to you and you are dear to the Lord. And me, I am an object of compassion of the Lord. It's not Priya. I am an object of his compassion, I am a recipient of his grace. I am very dear to the Lord. No, the Lord is very compassionate on me. Although I am a kapati and shatha. What is kapati? Kapati is a cheater. Someone who presents himself as so great externally while not so pure internally. Kapati. Someone who is cheating. Shatha means someone who acts very nicely in one's personal interactions, but behind the back they start trying to harm the person, contemplating to harm the other person. Kapati is like he's just trying to cover his bad side by presenting a good side externally, but Shatha is actually actively planning to harm the other person. I am like that. Raghunath Das Goswami saying, although I am a kapati and shatha, although I am a cheater and a hypocrite, whatever, still the Lord is so compassionate upon me that he has offered me to Giriraj Govardhan so that Govardhan can take care of me and rectify my mentality. Tvayi kapati shathopi tvat priyena arpitosmi. Then, next point. Iti khalu mama yogya tam agrihanan. So the meaning of this shloka is, oh Giriraj Govardhan, please don't consider whether I have yogyata or ayogyata, whether I am qualified or not qualified. Please don't bother about that so much. Just accept me. Because your beloved Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is compassionate on me. You should show some grace on me. You should give me some residence close to you. Nija nikatane vasam dehi govardhanatvam. So don't go by my yogyata, ayogyata, qualification or disqualification. If you go by that, I will definitely fail. What will pass me is only your grace. Right? With the recommendation letter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Recommendation letter is there, your causeless mercy is there. That will only pass me to come near you. Pass me. Right? So these are a few glories of Govardhan. Now, we'll discuss one beautiful episode from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 10th canto of Bhagavatam, 46th shloka, 46th chapter and 47th chapter. In the next few minutes or maybe almost an hour, we'll try to meditate on this pastime. This is Uddhava's visit to Vrindavan. So far, we discussed some glories of Vrindavan, some glories of Govardhan, as described by Raghunath Das Goswami and Radharani and others. Now, okay, now you can keep these shlokas aside. We will not recite so many shlokas now. So now we will discuss the story. It is well known that when Akrura came to take Vrindavan, to take Krishna from Vrindavan to Mathura, all the gopis were feeling so dejected, so angry, so frustrated, feeling so bad, feeling intense separation from Krishna within their hearts. And all these gopis gathered in smaller groups, and throughout the night they were discussing Krishna's pastimes. And their feelings of separation are described in few shlokas in the Bhagavatam 10th canto, and put together they are called Viraha Gita, the song of separation, Viraha Gita. So after singing this Viraha Gita throughout the night, early in the morning all the gopis saw that still preparations for Krishna's travel from Vrindavan to Mathura were going on with full enthusiasm. May not be enthusiasm, but with full responsibility or commitment. Akrura prepared his chariot. Krishna and Balaram were mounting the chariot. Nanda Maharaj prepared his own chariot, and many other elderly cowhead men, they also prepared their chariots. And they loaded their carts, not chariot actually, carts. They loaded their carts with so many milk products and other grains to pay taxes to Kamsa. So in this way, preparations were going on for a journey, a painful journey. Painful for people who are staying back, probably painful for people who are traveling also. Right? Nanda Maharaj, although he is traveling as a matter of his duty, he is the king of Gokul, king of Vrindavan. It is his responsibility to follow the instructions of Kamsa, the king of Mathura Mandal. So he is responsibly leading all the other cowherd men in this journey from Vrindavan to Mathura. But still internally he is feeling anxiety. Why did Kamsa specifically invite Krishna and Balaram? If he wants taxes, I am going every year to pay taxes. This year also I will go. How did Kamsa's glances fall on Krishna and Balaram? In those days when Krishna is doing Kaliya Daman or Govardhan Dharan, nobody did this YouTube live or live streaming. Nobody did that. So Kamsa never saw in his home screen, home theater, what Kaliya is doing, what Krishna is doing, how Krishna is killing Arishtasur, Putana, Bakasur, Aghasur, Vatsasur, Keshi, Arishtasur. He was not watching all that, but he was hearing little bit. There may be some wonder kid, smart kid in Vrindavan. He was having that impression only. But suddenly Narada Muni came into picture and revealed the birth secret of Krishna. He told Kamsa, Kamsa, do you know who Krishna is? Nanda Maharaj's son, he is doing some miraculous activities, I have heard. He is Devaki's 8th son. Really? Devaki's 8th son is a child, a girl, a baby girl. I tried to kill her. She became Durga Devi. I offered obeisances to her. And I fell at the feet of Devaki and Vasudeva and begged forgiveness also. Generally, these demonic people are very, very devoted to Durga. So as soon as this baby girl, Yashoda Mata's daughter, she became Durga, Kamsa developed so many reverential feelings towards Devaki. My sister has given birth to Durga Devi. She must be really special. So he fell at her feet also. And he started offering obeisances to her. She said, I'm really sorry. I killed your sons. But that is their karma. I'm an instrument of their karma. So he said that, and that was the impression fed into him. Suddenly Narada Muni he comes and says, Vasudeva, you have been royally cheated. Kamsa, you have been royally cheated by Vasudeva. He promised you that he will give every single child of Devaki to you. But when the 8th child came, he secretly took that child to Vrindavan, Gokul, and hid that child in his friend's home, Nanda Maharaj's home. Even Nanda Maharaj is not aware of this. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata are always thinking that Krishna is their son. Devaki and Vasudeva are always thinking that Krishna is their son. They never think that others have given birth to Krishna. So Narada Muni revealed this birth secret of Krishna to Kamsa, and Kamsa became furious. He had sent Akrura. So somehow when Akrura came to Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj felt anxious, very anxious. Akrura had a secret meeting with Krishna and Balaram in that night, and Krishna personally came and informed Nanda Maharaj that tomorrow we have to go. This is Kamsa's order, and if Kamsa does some mischief to kill me or something like that, then I will do the needful. You have seen me. I lifted Govardhan mountain. Krishna is highlighting his Aishwarya angle. I have lifted Govardhan mountain. I killed Putana, Bakasura, Ghasur, Vatsasur, Vyomasur, so many people I have killed. I will kill Kamsa also if he does some mischief. But it's important that we go, because Kamsa specifically called me and Balaram to this event. This event of, what is that? Dhanuryaga. Then Nanda Maharaj somehow agreed. Fine, let me just submit to it. But Yashoda Mata did not speak a single word. She was behind the curtains when this meeting is going on. She was profusely crying. She was anxious. But as the queen of Vrindavan, as the wife of king of Vrindavan, she could not speak much. She could not do anything about it. She was silently bearing that pain. But the younger gopis always felt that when Krishna goes, he may not come back. They were feeling like that. Intensely they were feeling like that. But all the other Vrajavasis, Sakhya Bhaktas and Vatsalya Bhaktas, they felt that Krishna is going to Mathura, he will come back in few days. Their pain is they could not tolerate that separation for few days. That is their pain of separation. But the pain of the Madhurya Gopis is that if Krishna goes, he may not even come back only. They could anticipate a longer period of separation. So therefore, they came on the streets, and Akrura's chariot was moving along with Krishna and Balaram. These gopis fell on the ground. Akrura, if you want to take Krishna to Mathura, take your chariot over our dead bodies. And some gopis went and caught the wheels of Akrura's chariot. Some people caught the driver and then threw him on the ground and started beating him. Some gopis caught these horses, not allowing them to move. Some gopis went and caught Balaramji, please don't go. Some caught Krishna directly and said, please don't go, please don't go. Then somehow Krishna pacified. It's a very, very heart-touching incident, very elaborate incident. But Krishna said, I'll come back soon, don't worry, and he left. Although Sukadeva Goswami very intensely described the strong feelings of the gopis of Vrindavan in Bhagavatam, he did not describe the feelings of Krishna much. But some acharyas write in their commentaries, especially Vishnu Thakur. Even Krishna also felt intense separation from Vrindavan and the gopis specifically. When Krishna went to Mathura, he was exploring all the city of Mathura, very happily apparently, killing washermen, taking clothes from weaver, taking cloth ornaments from the weaver, taking garland from Sudama florist, and taking chandan from Kubja, breaking the bow of Shiva, the sacrificial bow of Kamsa. So he's doing so many other things. He's killing Chanura, Mushtika, Shala, Toshala, Kuta, Kuvalaya Pida, killing Kamsa. He's doing many other things. But somewhere in the back of the mind, he's just meditating on the gopis. When he's touring Mathura city, he's looking at all the ladies in Mathura, trying to search for faces that resemble the gopis of Vrindavan. That is how Krishna is constantly remembering the gopis, even though he went to Mathura. And in the heart, he secretly wept. He was crying intensely in separation from the gopis, Krishna. And later he was told, after he killed Kamsa, he was told, you have to stay back in Mathura. It's a very long story. But Krishna was told, please stay back in Mathura. Vasudeva and Devaki are your parents. This fact Krishna could understand in the capacity of being Supreme Personality of Godhead. But this fact Nanda Maharaj could never understand. But although Krishna understood this fact in the capacity of being Bhagavan, Krishna could not digest this fact as Nandanandan, as Yashodanandan. Now look at Krishna as a 10-year-old child, not a Supreme Personality of Godhead with all powers. Just look at Krishna as a 10-year-old kid. He, since his birth, he spent his time with Yashoda Mata, Nanda Maharaj, Gopas, Gopis, cows, calves, peacocks, parrots, monkeys in Vrindavan. And suddenly he was told, you have to stay in this city, this big palace. These are your new parents. These are your new relatives. These are your new assistants and servants. Not monkeys and cows, horses and elephants. Not Gopas and Gopis, maid servants and soldiers and ministers. Just imagine what will a 10-year-old child, how will a 10-year-old child digest this? He was like that. Krishna's condition was like that when he went to Mathura. And in Mathura, he could connect with only one person. Actually, the situation was like this. How did these Mathuravasis convince Nanda Maharaj to go back to Vrindavan? He could never leave Krishna. Nanda Maharaj is intensely attached to Krishna. How could he leave Krishna? He can never leave Krishna. But still, Nanda Maharaj had a magnanimous heart by Krishna's will, and he accepted it. You know what they said? So far, because of the fear of Kamsa, Balaram and Rohini Mata stayed in your home, Nanda Maharaj. Now that Kamsa died, Balaram and Rohini Mata must stay in Mathura along with Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the husband of Rohini, and Balaram is the son of Vasudeva. That is well-known fact. Even though Balaram is staying in Vrindavan for more than a decade, still he is the son of Vasudeva, everybody knows. So Balaram has to stay back in Mathura. He cannot go back. That's clear. What about Krishna? So Krishna is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. That Devaki and Vasudeva know. And many Mathuravasis also know. But Nanda Maharaj can never accept this fact. He is my son. Yashoda Mata gave birth to my son. Nanda Maharaj knows this. He cannot accept, he cannot leave Krishna there. But Krishna has the responsibility of convincing Nanda Maharaj also, because he descended for a different reason. Paritranaya sadhuna. Definitely he descended to reciprocate with his dear devotees, undoubtedly, but he also descended to do some other vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapana. For that, shifting to Mathura is important for him, for all of us. So Krishna told, I cannot stay away from Balaram. Balaram has to stay in Mathura, and Krishna cannot stay away from Balaram, and Vasudeva and Devaki cannot stay away from Balaram. So Balaram is the central figure there now. Right? So Nanda Maharaj said, let me tolerate my feelings of separation from Krishna instead of allowing Vasudeva to tolerate his feelings of separation from Balaram. Nanda Maharaj is left only with two options. Either take Krishna and Balaram together to Vrindavan or leave them together at Mathura. He chose the second option out of his compassion towards Vasudeva. But later he was begging Vasudeva, please send my Krishna back. I thought you will keep Krishna with you for some time because he cannot stay away from Balaram, or Balaram cannot stay away from Krishna. Therefore you kept Krishna with you. Please send. But Vasudeva is not sending. And later there was a big meeting at Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra also Nanda Maharaj was begging, please send Krishna back. Vasudeva is not agreeing. It's a long story, we will not go into that. But now, in our today's discussion, let's focus on Krishna's emotions here. Krishna is feeling intense separation from Vrajavasis and the Gopis. He is left alone in Vrindavan. He could connect with only one person. Of course, Balaram is there as a friend, as a brother. But really, for Krishna to take shelter somewhere in Mathura, only Rohini Mata was there. Rohini Mata is as good as Yashoda Mata. So Krishna took shelter of Rohini Mata. She is the only elder with whom Krishna could connect with and have some kind of emotional nourishment and satisfaction in her lap in separation from Vrindavan. Right? And in this way Krishna, of course Balaram is definitely there. So in this way Krishna is passing his days in Mathura. But one day he felt, I cannot tolerate separation from Vrindavan anymore. I need to hear something from them or about them. And now in these current circumstances, I cannot go to Vrindavan. Therefore, my dear Uddhava, Uddhava is cousin of Krishna. My dear Uddhava, can you please go to Vrindavan on my behalf and give my message to my father and mother, Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj, and also my beloved gopis of Vrindavan? Please go there. This is the context of Uddhava's travel to Vrindavan. So Uddhava went to Vrindavan. At that time Uddhava did not know the glories of Vrindavan completely. He knows Krishna is so attached to them. Maybe Krishna is missing them. Actually Uddhava is attached to Krishna so much, since childhood. When Uddhava was a small child, third canto describes, he's playing with Krishna dolls. He was so absorbed in worshipping Krishna dolls that when his mother calls him for breakfast, Uddhava, come, please take some breakfast. Uddhava wouldn't go. He's so absorbed in play. So after a decade of his meditation on Krishna, feelings of separation from Krishna, Uddhava finally got association of Krishna. Now Uddhava is asked by Krishna, please go and give my message to the Vrajavasis. The emotions of Krishna are understood by Uddhava. So Krishna cannot tell, Rohini Mata, can you go and give me a message? Balaram, can you go? So he needs some friend, not an elder only. So he went to Uddhava and said, please take my message. He wrote a letter, a nice letter, and folded it nicely. And Uddhava put it in his pocket and then went all the way to Vrindavan. So when he went to Vrindavan, he saw a lot of excitement. All the cows, Uddhava reached Vrindavan somewhere in the evening time. All the cows were coming from forest, from the pasturing grounds. And all the cowhead men were milking their cows. And people were bringing some water pots and doing some of their evening duties. And there's nice breeze, cool breeze. And Vrindavan is filled with beautiful trees and flowers and fruits and kalpavrukshas and cows and calves and peacocks and birds and animals. And Uddhava was very, very happy to see that ambience. Some people were playing flutes. But as Uddhava proceeded, Uddhava saw another Vrindavan which is very sad. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Uddhava witnessed two aspects of Vrindavan, are two Vrindavans in one sense, are two sets of Vrajavasis in one sense. One set of Vrajavasis, they were not in separation from Krishna, they are in union with Krishna. Because Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchati. So in this way, Krishna is there in Vrindavan in one sense, spiritually or invisibly, or accessible to those who have that special mood. So Uddhava witnessed it for a while, but later Uddhava actually saw that Vrindavan are those Vrajavasis who are in separation from Krishna, not in union with Krishna. They are so sad. These Vrajavasis are so sad. And Uddhava slowly brought his chariot in front of Nanda Bhavan. Nanda Maharaj saw a beautiful golden royal chariot from Mathura city has come. Definitely not Akrura again. Right? So Uddhava just got down. Uddhava looked exactly like Krishna in his physical features, in his dress also. Uddhava is a yesterday Maharaj was quoting this shloka, Tvayopa bhakta sargandha vaso alankara charchitaha. So by honoring the Mahaprasad of the Lord, we can overcome Maya. So Uddhava is a perfect example of honoring all the paraphernalia of Krishna. Whatever dhoti Krishna wears, Uddhava takes that. Whatever jewelry Krishna wears, Uddhava takes that. Whatever garlands Krishna wears, Uddhava takes that. And he looks like Krishna also. So when Uddhava came to Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj remembered Krishna. Of course, he never forgot Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj invited Uddhava, please come. Nanda Maharaj is so overwhelmed with emotions, fatherly emotions for Krishna, but he has the responsibility as the king of Vraja to control his emotions. Having emotions is great, but being in a situation where you have to restrain your emotions, control your emotions and not exhibit them is even more painful. Some people say, when Lord Ramachandra went to Dandakaranya, Dasharatha Maharaj left his body. But when Krishna left Vrindaranya, Nanda Maharaj lived. Who is a better devotee? Who has better fatherly affection? Some people may immediately vote for Dasharatha Maharaj. Yes, Dasharatha Maharaj, because he could not even tolerate feelings of separation from his beloved son, Lord Ramachandra. Therefore, he gave up his body. One may think that Dasharatha Maharaj is a better Vatsalya Bhakta. All glories to Dasharatha Maharaj, undoubtedly. In fact, Dasharatha Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj, they are multiple forms of the same personality. Ram and Krishna, multiple forms of the same personality, ultimately speaking. But in different pastimes and different yugas, in different forms, they manifest different degrees or gradations of modes. I hope it's okay. Should I continue like this? Or you want some break? You want to stretch? You're not getting bored, right? Okay. Story narration. No slokas, no activities, no animation. I'll come to that very soon. Yeah. So, Nanda Maharaj could maintain his life even in separation from Krishna. Dasharatha Maharaj gave up his life in separation from Ram. Nanda Maharaj maintained his life in separation from Krishna. So that shows that Nanda Maharaj is a better Vatsalya Bhakta than Dasharatha Maharaj, because when the feelings of separations are so intense, it's easy to give up body, but it's very, very extremely difficult to maintain life. Giving up life is easier than maintaining life in such intense emotions, right? That's why many people, when they fail on a material plane, when they're overwhelmed with material emotions, when they experience some failure or some other difficulty, they may try to commit suicide. And some people, they don't commit suicide. With great determination, they may again try hard and emerge victorious. Whom will you glorify? The person who committed suicide, or the person who gave up his life, or the person who endured through those difficulties and then emerged victorious? So in that sense, Nanda Maharaj's condition is more difficult. His Vatsalya Prema is more intense. And not only tolerating the separation from Krishna, but also consoling Yashoda Mata, consoling Vrajavasis, reconciling this whole situation within. Not that easy. Yashoda Mata just could not do anything. She became, in one sense, kind of dysfunctional. She could not speak a single word. When Uddhava came to Vrindavan, Yashoda Mata just could not speak a single word. But Nanda Maharaj somehow managed to maintain his composure and tried to receive Uddhava and play the role of a good host. Did all things of guest reception, all the formalities of guest reception, of course with love, no doubt. Then Uddhava came and sat that night. And Nanda Maharaj asked Uddhava, how is Krishna? Does he remember us? Does he remember me? Does he remember Yashoda Mata? Does he remember the Gopas and Gopis, all his friends? Does he remember his Goshala, his beloved cows? The cows are crying in separation from Krishna. Does he remember the cows? Does he remember Giriraj Govardhan and all the wonderful pastime places where he performed so many leelas here? Does he remember this ambience of Vrindavan? Maybe he's so busy with many other royal activities as a prince of Mathura. So Nanda Maharaj is asking so many questions about Krishna. Yashoda Mata, she's only crying, not speaking a single word. She did not ask a single question. She did not speak a single word. Her face is filled with streams of tears that were coming like torrents of rain from her eyes. She became extremely emotional in remembrance of Krishna. She does not know what she is doing. She is just sitting there next to Nanda Maharaj. hoping to hear a few words, probably, from Uddhava. Then Uddhava started speaking some philosophy of absolute truth, glories of Krishna, highlighting his reverential aspect. You know, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nanda and Yashoda are sitting. Who are the audience? Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. And Uddhava says Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the super soul of all beings. He is omniscient. He is omnipresent. He is omnipotent. He is the Paramatma in the hearts of all living beings. And the Maharaj said, they had their own feelings inside. They're hearing, but not much is registering in their hearts. They're emotional. And on top of it, the content also is not matching their mood. Right? So when you are looking for something in the Katha, and the Kathakar gives something else, right? So you get little disappointed, and it takes a while for you to tune in. But to the degree we are thinking of something else, to that degree we cannot connect with the Katha. Similarly, in the case of Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj, because they were Kevala Bhaktas, they are not Aishwarya Gnana Yukta Bhaktas. You understand this difference? Aishwarya Gnana Yukta Bhakta means a devotee who sees Krishna as God, who has some reverential feelings towards the Lord. They have some Aishwarya Gnana, they have some knowledge or awareness of Krishna's majesty, grandeur and opulences and powers. But Kevala Bhaktas, they have absolutely no information or no interest or no awareness. They are not at all conscious. Even if Aishwarya is being displayed so profusely right in front of their eyes, still their love for Krishna is so intense that they cannot see Krishna as God. Even if Krishna exhibits some superhuman activities, they consider Krishna as a human child only. Ordinary mudhas, ignorant people or demoniac people may consider Krishna ordinary out of lack of devotion. But out of extreme devotion, Vrajavasis consider Krishna as their child, as their son. Trayachopanisadbhischa Sankhya Yogaischa Sattvataihi Upagiyamana Mahatmyam Harim Samanyatatmajam. Trayacha Upanishadbhischa. In all the three Vedas and Upanishads, Upagiyamana Mahatmyam, the Mahatmya, the greatness of Krishna as the supreme absolute truth is glorified repeatedly in all the scriptures. But Yashoda Mata considers that Krishna is my son. Sa amanyata atmajam, he is my atmaja, he is born out of me. I have to feed him, I have to discipline him, I have to scold him, I have to chastise him if he is misbehaving. Disciplining him is my responsibility. If I don't feed him, he will die. That is her mood as mother. That's why her position is superior to everyone else. That's why Sukadeva Goswami says, Nemam virincho na bhavo Nashrirapyanga samshrayat Prasadam lebhire gopi Yattat prapa vimuktidat. The special mercy that Yashoda Mata received, Virinchi, Brahma did not receive, Shiva did not receive, and even Lakshmi also did not receive. That is her position, exalted position as mother of Krishna. So she is just silently witnessing and hearing the words of Uddhava. Uddhava is saying that something similar to Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu Name Dveshyosti na Priyaha. Krishna is the supreme soul. Everyone is equal to him. No one is dear to him. He is equipoised towards everybody. He has no friends. He has no enemies. He is speaking all this, Uddhava, in front of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. Oh, really? Means we are equal to everyone? He doesn't have any special attraction towards us? That's our misfortune. They are getting in a totally different tone. Right? But Uddhava, while trying to pacify Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata, he is undergoing some transformation. Sometimes we may think we are teaching others, we are speaking to others, we are enlightening others. But by seeing the mood of the hearer or student, that speaker may get transformed sometimes. It happens. Especially in Uddhava's case, it happened. Sometimes someone who is sitting and hearing Harikatha may be more spiritually advanced than someone who is speaking Harikatha. Just because we are given the role of speaking Harikatha or teaching scriptures, that may not mean we know better than those who are hearing. Because one who has great taste for hearing is already very fortunate. Whoever glorifies Krishna in line with the parampara, they like to hear. That is their magnanimity. That's why when the conversation between Uddhava and Vidura was happening in the third canto of Bhagavatam, Uddhava did not take Vidura for granted. You remember when when Vidura meets Uddhava, when Uddhava was on his way to Badrikashram, Vidura hears Harikatha from Uddhava and says, Uddhava, can you please become my guru? You become my teacher. I will become your student. You please enlighten me in Krishna Tattva, Krishna Leela. Then Uddhava says, you are such an exalted personality. You are so great. How can I do this Maryada Vyatikram? By accepting an elderly person as my student. You are not just elderly to me in age, you are so elevated in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna remembered you at the time of his departure. Vidura, you are so exalted. I cannot act as your teacher. I spoke, of course, 4 chapters of Katha he spoke. He spoke just because he remembered Krishna. That is for his purification. That is for his meditation on Krishna. And Vidura happened to be in front. And he did it as a service. Not that he is actually thinking that I am enlightening Vidura. I am so close associate of Krishna and Vidura is not that close, so I am enlightening Vidura, I will accept him as student. He did not think like that. He said, there is another devotee, Maitreyi Muni, go and hear from him. Then Vidura went all the way to Maitreyi Muni at Haridwar and he sat in his class. And what is Maitreyi Muni saying? Vidura, you are so exalted, you are extremely exalted. You are Yamaraj. Because of Mandavi Muni's curse, you are acting like a minister in Hastinapur now. But you are very exalted. By speaking Harikatha in front of you, I am getting purified. And Vidura is asking questions humbly. Student. He is asking some questions. Can you please answer that? Can you please answer this? What is this? What is that? Maitreyi is answering all the questions, but in the mode of a servant. He says, Vidura, every question that you are asking in connection with Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela is making a special garland. You know what is the name of this garland? Anyone knows here? I think some of you know. Huh? Kirtimala. Kirtimala, you know Kantimala, but there is something called Kirtimala. Kirtimala means a garland of the glories of Krishna. Because Vidura is asking questions about Krishna, every question is like offering a flower to Maitreyi Muni. And Maitreyi Muni is elaborating on these glories of Krishna. So Maitreyi Muni is stringing the garland, and Vidura is, with every question, he is offering a flower. Please put this also, put this also, put this also. Now you put this big flower, now you put this small flower. Now you put this bird, now put these leaves. Right? In a garland there are multiple elements, right? So with every question, Vidura is offering some flowers to Maitreyi Muni. Maitreyi Muni is accepting them and making this Kirtimala. You are making this Kirtimala. I am an instrument in your hands. So this is how a genuine speaker of Bhagavatam thinks. Doesn't think that I am great, I am glorifying. But somehow, Uddhava, when he came to Vrindavan, Krishna requested him, you please go and pacify my parents. And Uddhava somehow thought that yes, I can pacify Krishna's parents by speaking something about Krishna. And he did it also. But later, while speaking to the parents of Krishna, Uddhava realized that they are way ahead of my ability to pacify. Right? I think I am not eligible to pacify them. I cannot actually enlighten them. I cannot give some moral support or emotional support to them. Who am I? They are such elevated devotees of Krishna. But Uddhava understood that because of my presence here, they are getting some little pacification because of their devotion, not because of my speech. Right? So Uddhava's presence definitely made a very great impact on the minds of all the Vrajavasis, especially Yashoda Mata and Nanda Maharaj. However, that is not because of Uddhava's intelligence. It's not because of Uddhava's intellectual way or smart way of pacifying. Sometimes when people come with emotions, we have to give them intelligence. Intellectually, you need to convince people because they are too emotional. When emotions are very high, people lose their logic, people lose their reasoning, people lose their analytical capabilities. Therefore, if you see the whole situation from a neutral perspective and be more rational in analyzing it, more analytical and more rational and more intellectually or intelligently try to analyze the situation and then try to pacify the emotions of the person, they will feel pacified. Because they are so overwhelmed with emotions, they are unable to see it from a rational perspective. Thus, on a material plane, emotions can be pacified by rational intelligence, to some degree at least. This concept is called philosophical counseling. Philosophical counseling means you counsel someone by speaking philosophy when they become too emotional. This is in the literature. it's a concept. So, but philosophical counseling does not work when you have high spiritual emotions, by the way. Philosophical counseling works when your emotions are material. Even then also philosophical counseling will not work when the person is overly emotional. Only psychological counseling will work, or medication will work for them. but on spiritual plane, when somebody is very, very high on emotions for Krishna, speaking philosophy does not make much difference in their situation. Doing something in line with their emotions will work. Getting right? When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very high in his emotions, in the Antya-Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is rubbing his cheeks against the Gambhira walls and he is bleeding profusely. Out of his intense emotions, his body is getting elongated. The joints are getting disconnected. The whole body became like a bag of bones. That is the condition of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in Gambhira in his last days, Antya-Leela. There nobody came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave a philosophical counseling, logical counseling. Our Swarupa Damodar Goswami and Ramananda come and sing some pastimes of Krishna and Radha from Govinda Leela Amrit, from Jayadev Goswami's compositions. Then Mahaprabhu is pacified. When somebody is very high in spiritual emotions, this kind of logical, rational, philosophical counseling will not work for them. You need to say or do something that is in line with their spiritual emotions. That's how Uddhava managed to pacify Brajavasis, by aiding their emotions, not regulating or counteracting or trying to eliminate their emotions. Oh, they're so emotional. Let me speak something logic, then their emotions are gone. It didn't work. It doesn't work. What works is they're emotional in this way. Let me aid their emotions. They're thinking so much about Krishna as their son. So let me speak some nice pastimes of Krishna, and that will immerse them in their feelings for the Lord, and that's how they'll be pacified. And that's what Uddhava did in Vrindavan. So whole night passed like that. And by the end of the night, Uddhava understood these parents of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata, they are most worshipable personalities because they have attained such intense feelings of parental love for the Lord. They are the most exalted devotees of Krishna. I only can offer obeisances to their lotus feet. He understood their glory. I have come here to pacify them, but they are so glorious. I am no one to pacify. Let me aid their emotions. That's all he understood. Next. Early in the morning. You're okay? Can we continue? What's the time now? I don't know the time. 10:45. 10:45. Okay. You want to stretch a little bit? You want to get up?
Sorry.
Move around?
11:45.
11:45. Means we spoke almost 1.5 hours. Should we give a break? 5 minutes break. Yes, 5 minutes break. Hari. Dandavat Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Days we were discussing more on Tattva, but now we'll discuss more Leela of Krishna. So maybe we'll start with one shloka before we continue the Leela, whichever shloka you like. So let's start with the first shloka. Vrindaranyamananya bhakti rasadam govinda padambuja Dvandve mandadhiyo vidanti nahitadvasam chana shashate Sandranandara sambudhir niravadhir yatra virastidhurvam No majjanti kubuddhayo patasabudvigna sudukhairapi We'll we'll just recite these two prayers to Giriraj also. Giri Nrupa Haridasa Shreni Varyeti Nama 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 Mritamidam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat Mritamidam Shri Radhika Vaktra Chandrat Vrajanavati Lakatve Klupta Vedaihi Sputam Me Vrajanavati Lakatve Klupta Vedaihi Sputam Me Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatvam Nija Nikata Nivasam Dehi Govardhanatvam Nirupadhi Karunena Shri Sachinandanena Nirupadhi Karunena Shri Sachinandanena Tvai Kapati Shathopi Tvat Priyena Arpitosmi Tvai Kapati Shathopi Tvat Priyena Arpitosmi Iti khalu mama yogya Yogyatam tam agrihanan Iti khalu mama yogya Yogyatam tam agrihanan Nija nikata nivasam Dehi govardhanatvam Nija nikata nivasam Dehi govardhanatvam Hare Krishna. A few minutes back, we were discussing how Krishna was feeling separation from the Vrajavasis when he was staying in Mathura, and he requested his dear devotee and cousin and constant companion Uddhava to go to Vrindavan and give his message to his beloved parents and even the gopis. So with this mission, Uddhava came to Vrindavan and first met Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. He tried to pacify them by speaking some philosophy, some glories of Krishna, and also he could witness their deep devotion, affection and love for Krishna, and he himself was transformed. He offered obeisances to Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata and said, no one could have loved Krishna, no one could have had such deep parental affection for Krishna as much as you both have, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata. You are unlimitedly fortunate to be parents of Krishna. They are eternal parents of Krishna. So he offered obeisances to them. So early in the morning, the gopis got up from their sleep, and actually they don't sleep much. Even if they sleep, they only sleep to have dreams of their service to Krishna. So then these gopis, early morning, they noticed a chariot, a very beautiful, majestic, royal, opulent, golden chariot in front of Nanda Bhavan, Nanda Maharaj's home. All the gopis became so curious. Who came here from Mathura? Actually, Vrindavan is filled with bullock carts, mostly. But this chariot doesn't seem to be a belonging of Vrindavan. It has come from somewhere else. Where did it come from? Looks like Mathura. Because a similar chariot came from Mathura few days back. Akrura brought the chariot. And that Akrura, who is actually Krura, not Akrura. Akrura means one who is not cruel. Krura means one who is very cruel. So that Akrura has stolen Krishna. He has taken away Krishna from Vrindavan. And did he come back again? Because these devotees, these gopis have already heard this news. That Krishna went on Akrura's chariot to Mathura and he killed Kamsa's wrestlers, Chanura, Mushtika, Shala, Toshala, Kota, along with Balram. And also he killed Kavalayapida. He also killed Kamsa himself. So Shatru Samhara has happened in one sense. So why did Akrura come back again? Will Krishna come back? Maybe he will not come back. He has forgotten us. Out of their intense separation from Krishna, the gopis thought that Krishna will not come back. So someone else has come back. Did Akrura come back here? If he has come back on this chariot, why did he come back to Vrindavan? What was the reason for Akrura's second arrival to Vrindavan? Earlier he came here to take Krishna away from us. That means taking our lives away from our bodies. Taking Krishna away from Vrindavan means taking the lives of the gopis away from the gopis' bodies. So after having taken away our lives, did Akrura come back to Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय, ईश्वरने सचिनंदन स्वामी महाराज की जय, रघुनाथ प्रभु की जय. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Please continue Parikrama, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. If you want to sit here, you are welcome. Hare Krishna. So, the gopis were thinking, why did Akrura come back to Vrindavan? Earlier he came here to take away our lives away from our bodies. Did he again come back here to take our dead bodies now? So that he can offer some oblations to his departed master Kamsa. Because Kamsa departed already. And Akrura is a loyal minister, servant of this master Kamsa, so-called master Kamsa. As a loyal servant, as an instrument in his will, this Akrura came to take Krishna away from Vrindavan. Did he again come back here? To take our dead bodies? Did he come here to see whether we are alive or not after having taken away their lives? Did he, after taking away our lives, did he come back here to see our dead bodies and take our dead bodies also? To offer oblations of flesh to his master Kamsa? Is that the reason? See how much the gopis were upset with Akrura. Akrura did his duty, definitely. He followed the order of Kamsa, the king. And he had Krishna's personal sanction. Krishna personally sanctioned it. Yes, I will come with you, Akrura. And Nanda Maharaj approved it. And Akrura did something like authorized only. But still, the gopis were so upset with Akrura. And because the gopis were upset with Akrura, Akrura got into some conspiracy in the Shamantakamani episode. We will not discuss it now. But he got into conspiracy in Shamantakamani episode. Why? The devotees are displeased with him. Yesterday we discussed, right? In Dhruva Maharaj's episode, Dhruva went and said sorry to Kuvera. Although Dhruva is more spiritually elevated and Kuvera is not that exalted in comparison to Dhruva, still the displeasure in the heart of Kuvera could act as an obstacle in Dhruva's Krishna Smaranam. So Dhruva feared, the greatest fear that a devotee is supposed to have is to forget Krishna. Will I continue remembering Krishna or will I forget Krishna? So we should have this fear, healthy fear. Right? Devotee is fearless. Ichchata makato bhayam. By chanting the holy names of Krishna, devotee becomes free from all material fears. But devotee has one fear. fear of forgetting Krishna. That happens by displeasing devotees. So all these devotees, Akrura displeased the devotees of Krishna, that is the gopis of Vrindavan. Therefore he caught up in that conspiracy. What Akrura could have done is, he could have given a clarification to the gopis. My dear gopis, I didn't mean to hurt you. I have no ill feelings towards you. I don't hate you. It's not my intention to separate you from your beloved Krishna. But I am obliged to do this activity. On behalf of the king, with the approval of Krishna and his father, and also to pacify Krishna's parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, I must do this activity. What can I do? So please forgive me. That clarification, that sensitivity, that sensitive pacification of the emotions of the affected party was expected from Akrura. But somehow Akrura did not do that, for whatever reason. Therefore he caught up. So although we have to do something authorized, if we notice that another devotee is affected by our obligatory activities, we can take out a minute or two to go and clarify and pacify, console, and try to make them little peaceful. That's important. Anyways, these gopis saw this chariot in front of Nanda Bhavan and were thinking, who must have come here? Who came here? Then as they came closer to the chariot, they saw one effulgent personality came out of Nanda Maharaj's home. He looked exactly like Krishna. His bodily complexion was like that of Krishna. His dress is like that of Krishna. His ornaments are like that of Krishna. He's basically resembling Krishna and reminding Krishna. He's reminding everyone, whoever sees him, he's reminding Krishna. So all these gopis, innocent gopis, simple cowherd ladies, they surrounded this Uddhava and said, who are you? Tell us. Who are you? Are you Krishna's brother? Are you Krishna's servant? Are you Krishna's representative? Why did you come here? Why did he not come here? Did he send you just to pacify his parents and all of us, console, just so that officially or externally to give an impression to everyone that he still cares for his old parents and previous friends? Just he wanted to be politically correct by sending you here? If he's so sensitive, if he's so loving and caring towards all of us, he could have come personally. Tell us, who are you? Why did you come here? Then Uddhava introduced himself as a representative, a servant, a cousin of Krishna, and he said, "Oh gopis, I have come here to offer you a message, to give you a message of Krishna." Oh, Krishna had sent a message for us? We are very curious to hear that. So all the gopis took Uddhava to a secluded place, something like this, under some trees, Kalpavrakshas of Vrindavan. They all sat there. And Uddhava understood. All these gopis are very exalted devotees of Krishna. They love Krishna so much and Krishna loves them so much. So Uddhava is one man amidst hundreds of women, gopis. He sat there with so much respect from a distance. So with great respect and reverence towards their exalted devotional position, Uddhava sat there and slowly opened the letter and started speaking. Right? He was narrating. So the gopis are exalted because of their constant Krishna Smarana. The Mathura ladies, they glorified the gopis of Vrindavan in this way. Yado hane vahanane mathanopalepa prinkankhanar bharudito kshanabharjanadau gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukantyo dhanya vrajastriya urukrama chittayanaha. Yadohane, while milking cows. Vahanane, while processing their grains. Mathana, while churning buttermilk. Upalepa, while smearing their walls and floors with cow dung. Priyankankhana, while swinging on swings. In Vrindavan, the Vrajavasis just put some ropes on the trees and they swing nicely like this, while swinging on swings. Priyankankhana, Arbharudita, while taking care of their crying babies. Ukshana, while sprinkling their courtyards with water mixed with cow dung. Marjanado, while cleaning their courtyards and their homes. While doing all these simple household activities, you know what the gopis are doing? Gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukantyo dhanya vrajastriya urukrama chitta yanaha. Gayanti, they're constantly singing. Anurakta dhiya, with their minds completely immersed in rakti, not virakti, rakti for Krishna. You understand the difference between rakti and virakti? Virakti is detachment. Rakti means absorption, intense attachment. With their minds intensely attached to Krishna, to the lotus feet of Krishna, Gayanti, they are constantly singing the glories of Krishna. Gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukantyo. Dhiyo, anurakta dhiya means minds are completely absorbed in loving remembrance of Krishna. Kantya, voices are faltering. When they're glorifying Krishna, they're unable to focus on these glories because they're having some intense emotions. When you have intense emotions, you can't speak very eloquently. Your voice falters. That's what they're experiencing. Gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukantyo dhanya vrajastriya urukrama chitta yanaha. Dhanya. These gopis of Vrindavana are dhanya. They are the topmost devotees of Krishna. Vrajastriya urukrama chitta yanaha. Their chitta, their mind is completely hovering on the thoughts of Urukrama, Krishna. Such gopis, as soon as they heard that Krishna has written a letter for them, they became so excited. When we are so desperate, we become so intensely absorbed in the thoughts of the beloved, even one SMS, one WhatsApp message that excites us. Sometimes you send a message to someone, you keep waiting. When will this single tick become double tick? When will this double tick will become blue tick? When will this blue tick give me a reply message? And what is the reply? So people anticipate, right? On a material plane. And as soon as they see the message, they keep the phone aside. Right? Message is not so exciting. So the gopis are waiting for single tick, double tick, blue tick, and the message. The gopis are constantly waiting, and now Uddhava came here. Okay, although Krishna did not personally come, at least Uddhava came. Krishna still remembers us. The gopis are so humble that the very thought that Krishna is thinking about them made them so overwhelmed with gratitude. Oh, does he still remember us? Are we worthy of his remembrance? Does he still remember us? He wrote a letter to us. He had sent a messenger to us. That's amazing. Please tell us. What did he say? So Uddhava is about to open the letter and start reading. Then one of these gopis, she saw a bumblebee as is moving something, bee is moving here, right? So she saw a small bumblebee and she imagined that to be Krishna. And she imagined that bee to be Krishna's messenger also. And with this little confusion, in the bewilderment of prema, she's imagining the bee to be messenger and also Krishna and Krishna's messenger. And while Krishna's messenger is sitting there, right? She ignored Uddhava. Uddhava is sitting there under a tree and reading the letter, and she came little aside and she saw a little bumblebee, imagined the bumblebee to be Krishna and Krishna's messenger, and started chastising that. In transcendental madness of ecstasy, you cannot search for logic, reasoning. And that gopi is none other than Srimati Radharani. So how much Srimati Radharani loves Krishna? She is the epitome of Krishna Prema. Now, let's recite one shloka. And what? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, with your blessings. If someone can offer a chair to Maharaj, I'll be more comfortable. Hare Krishna. So, what Srimati Radharani spoke in that context was called Bhramara Gita, more esoteric than Rasa Leela. Therefore, with absolutely no qualification in that field, I am not going to touch even a single word of that. But there's another simpler shloka by Prabodhananda Saraswati. So let's recite this shloka. Just Radha nama sudhara samrasayitum jihvastu me vihvala. 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 Padau tatpada kankita sucharatam vrindata vividhishu. 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 Tatkarmaiva karah karotu hridayam tasyah padam dhyayatat. 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 Tadbhavotsavatāh param bhavatu me tat prananathe rati. 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 This is a prayer by Prabodhananda Saraswati to Srimati Radharani. So, this morning we are hearing from His Holiness Sachinandana Swami Maharaj that in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the name of Srimati Radharani Hare comes 8 times. Half of the mantra is Srimati Radharani. And Maharaj was teaching us how devotionally, attentively we need to utter this name Hare Hare. Of course, Krishna Krishna and Rama Rama also. So now here is Prabodhananda Saraswati expressing his devotion while chanting the name of Radha. Radha nama sudharasam rasayitum jihvastu me vihvala. When I chant the name of Srimati Radharani, let the jihva be vihvala. Means the tongue and the heart, of course, ultimately, should become overwhelmed with the opportunity, should become overwhelmed with the gratitude for the opportunity to chant the name Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jihvastu me vihvala. So the utterance of the name Radharani will overwhelm a devotee with devotion and gratitude. Second line, if you see, Padau tatpada kankita sucharatam vrindata vividhishu. Padau tatpada kankita sucharatam. All the Vrindavana Vidhis, Vidhi means the pathways of Vrindavan, Vrindatavi Vidhishu, they are traversed by Srimati Radharani. And when we are walking in Vrindavan, we should remember that we are walking in a pathway Srimati Radharani has walked. And that thought, and that fact, not this thought, the fact should overwhelm us with gratitude. Right? Padau tatpada kankita sucharatam vrindata vividhishu. All the vidhis means streets or pathways of Vrindavan are dedicated to the divine footprints of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani walked in the streets. Padau tatpada kankita sucharatam vrindata vividhishu. Third point. Tatkarmaiva karah karotu hridayam tasyah padam dhyayatat. Tatkarmaiva karah karotu. So let me do her karma only. Karma is not fruitive baggage here. Karma means activity. Tatkarma means her activity. What is her activity? Service to Krishna. And as devotees of Krishna, we are under the umbrella of Srimati Radharani's protection and we need to assist Srimati Radharani in her devotional service to Krishna. Whatever little devotion that we have, whatever little Krishna bhakti we have, is just a small fragmental part of Srimati Radharani's unlimited devotion for Krishna. Right? So, whatever karma we do, karma means activity, devotional activity we do, is just our humble attempt to assist Srimati Radharani in her service to Krishna through our Guru and Vaishnavas. Right? Now, Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhaktaha sangavarjitaha nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu yaha samameti pandava. So what does this mean? Mat karma krin mat paramo, mat karma, do my karma, my activities. What is Krishna's activities? That is devotional service. Like you see, there are 3 types of karmas. Punya karma, papa karma and bhakti karma. Punya karma means pious activities that people perform to go to upper planets, higher planets. Papa karma means impious activities or sinful activities that take people to hell. Bhakti karma means devotional activities. That's what Krishna said in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 55th sloka. Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhaktaha sangavarjitaha. That mat karma krin is most effectively done with the blessings of Srimati Radharani. And that's what Krishna said in the middle of Bhagavad Gita. How many shlokas Bhagavad Gita has? What is the middle shloka? Middlemost. Because in even number, 350 and 351 are the middlemost shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, right? What is shloka number 350 of Bhagavad Gita? Shloka number 350 is the 13th shloka of 9th chapter. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadimavyayam. So Mahatmas or great devotees are those who are taking shelter of Srimati Radharani. Daivim prakritimashritah. Sri Prabhupada writes in the Nectar of Instruction purport that the Daivi Prakriti in that shloka is Srimati Radharani. And devotees are those people who take shelter of Srimati Radharani and do what? Bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadimavyam. Ananya manasa, without any distraction in the heart, they serve Krishna. That is the job profile of a devotee. Right? Spiritual master is considered a representative of Srimati Radharani, representative of Nityananda Prabhu also, representative of Krishna also. So basically, Krishna, Srimati Radharani is the supreme servant of Krishna, supreme devotee of Krishna. Whatever devotion any devotee has is a small fragmental part of her devotion to Krishna, and whatever devotional activity a devotee does is just an attempt to assist her in her service to Krishna. Therefore the shloka says, Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Tat karmaiva karah karotu hridayam tasya padam dhyayatat. Tat karmaiva karah karotu. Let me do only her activity, no other activity, no material activity, no activity under the influence of material energy, not the external prakriti, only activities under the direction of Daivi Prakriti. All karmas must be done under the direction and inspiration and blessings of Daivi Prakriti Srimati Radharani. Tat karmaiva karah karotu hridayam tasya padam dhyayatat. Let the hands be engaged in her service. Second, let the hridayam, heart, be engaged in meditating on her lotus feet. Hridayam tasyaha padam dhyayatat. Tadbhavotsavata param bhavatu me tat prananathe rati. Last line says, Tadbhavotsavaha param bhavatu me. Let me understand, let me acknowledge that her bhava for Krishna is the highest bhava that anyone can ever perceive or conceive in this entire cosmic manifestation or beyond it. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, in the 8th chapter, there was a beautiful conversation between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. And Ramananda Rai was answering the questions of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya asked his first question, what is the highest attainable sadhya? Sadhya means that which is attainable, the goal of life.
What is the highest attainable goal of life? Tell me. Ramananda said Varnashram. Mahaprabhu said Ehobahya. Rejected, answer rejected. Then he gave multiple other proposals. Mahaprabhu is saying Ehobahya, Ehobahya, Ehobahya. Oh, really? Then he gave one shloka, which is representing Jnana Shunya Bhakti. Means devotional service done to the Lord without any mental speculation, without any unnecessary intellectual gymnastics. The shloka that he quoted from Srimad-Bhagavatam is Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartaha Sthane sthitaha shrutigatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayaso jita jitopyasita istrilokyam. Jnane prayasamudapasya. Give up your speculative endeavors to cultivate this knowledge. Just surrender to devotees. Submit to devotees. And Jivanti Sanmukharitam Bhavadiya Vartaha. You live a life by dedicating all your body, mind and activities to following the instructions of great devotees. Whenever they are speaking the glories of Krishna, just accept the glories, implement their teachings. That's the best way of living life. Jnana Paras, give up your jnana. Then Mahaprabhu said, Yehohai, this is good. I accept this. Agikahar. Speak more. There's something beyond this also. Beyond this Jnana Shunya Bhakti also. Then slowly Ramananda came to pure Prema Bhakti. Mahaprabhu said, I want more details. Oh, really? Then Sakhyarasa, Dasyarasa, Shantarasa, Dasyarasa, Sakhyarasa, Vatsalyarasa, Madhurya Prema, Kanta Prema. He gave these 5 proposals and established Kanta Prema or Madhurya Prema as the highest. You know what Mahaprabhu said? Yeah, this is highest sadhya, I understand. Can you speak little more, greater detail? Ramananda said, no one in the cosmic manifestation has ever asked this question to go ahead. But till you asked, let me speak. Then he spoke about Srimati Radharani, right? And also some exchanges between Radharani and Krishna in the Rasa Leela, which are very esoteric, we will not touch that. So, Radharani's love for Krishna is the highest attainable emotion for any living being. Krishna is the supreme living being, and amongst all the other living beings who are actually servants of Krishna, Radharani is supreme, right? So Krishna is the supreme living being, that's clear. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya. There is only one and only supreme absolute truth, that is Krishna. Everyone else is Bhritya. Amongst all the Bhrityas, amongst all the living entities who are technically servants of Krishna, who are constitutionally servants of Krishna, Srimati Radharani is the supreme servant of Krishna. Her Tattva will discuss more in greater detail on Radhashtami Day. But now coming in this context, there Prabodhananda Saraswati says, Tadbhavotsavata param bhavatu me tat prananathe rati. Recognizing Srimati Radharani is the supreme goddess of devotion, or the highest abode of emotion for Krishna, the ashraya of Krishna Bhakti. Let me beg her blessings. Tat prananathe rati. Oh my dear Srimati Radharani, goddess of devotion, let me have rati towards your prananatha. Tat prananathe rati. Who is prananatha of Krishna? Gopinath. Who is prananatha of Srimati Radharani? Gopinath, Krishna. So we need to beg Srimati Radharani for some little devotion for Krishna. That's the meaning of this shloka. And that Srimati Radharani, in this current context where we are in the Bhagavatam, Uddhava's visit to Vrindavan, she is singing this Brahmara Gita, right? She's seeing the bee and she is imagining that bee to be Krishna or Krishna's messenger and chastising. Meanwhile, our Uddhava is narrating Krishna's letter to the gopis. And finally, Sukadeva Goswami focuses the camera into Uddhava's letter, actually Krishna's letter. Uddhava is reading. Very, very important point. Uddhava, when he read this letter, the initial few shlokas of this letter are discussing pure jnana, apparently. What did Krishna say? just like something similar to Chatushloki Bhagavatam. What did Chatushloki Bhagavatam say? One shloka. All the after that, all the elements enter into the Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chavaseshvanu Pravistanya Pravishtani Tatha Teshvanateshvaham. Just like the material elements enter into every material body and they don't enter also. Similarly, Krishna also is there outside, is there inside. Oh gopis, I am there inside you, I am there outside you, I am everywhere. So this kind of gnana, gymnastics that Krishna is speaking in this letter that Uddhava wrote. Earlier when in the Rasa Leela, before the beginning of Rasa Leela, when Krishna played his flute under Vamshivat and called all the gopis, the gopis said, we have come here to serve you. Then Krishna spoke some instructions on karma and told them, go back. Now in this Uddhava's letter, Krishna is speaking some instructions on gnana. So how can gopis accept any instructions of karma or gnana? So they rejected. So in this letter, Krishna is writing some shlokas that apparently give some kind of gnana kind of message. But Acharyas write deeper meanings to these lessons, to these shlokas. There is an external meaning which is in the gnana flavor. There is internal meaning which is not just in bhakti flavor, which is in the deepest form of bhakti, madhurya prema flavor. Right? We will not discuss both. We are just discussing one important point here that Acharyas have highlighted. Even in the most confidential communication that has ever happened between Krishna and his beloved gopis, with Uddhava as the messenger, medium of communication, there is philosophical discussion. So Bhagavatam takes every single step and care so that the readers don't become sahajiyas. While reading Bhagavatam, there is no scope of becoming a sahajiya. Because there is constant philosophical discussion everywhere in Srimad-Bhagavatam. What can be a more confidential communication than the letter that Krishna has written to the gopis of Vrindavan, which Uddhava is carrying, secretly reading under some trees of Vrindavan? That's very confidential, but there is a lot of philosophical discussion. One who has the capacity and ability and eligibility to appreciate this rasa can get the deeper and inner meanings of those slokas in line with the acharyas. But those who read externally, they will only get that external meaning. Even while concluding Bhagavatam also, Sukadeva Goswami spoke some gnana. In the beginning of Bhagavatam also, Sukadeva Goswami spoke some gnana. In the middle also there is a lot of gnana. So common people may think that, oh, Bhagavatam begins with gnana, ends with gnana, is in the middle also there is gnana, therefore gnana is the ultimate message of Bhagavatam. But that's not the thing. Those who look for the deeper meanings of Bhagavatam, devotional perspectives of Bhagavatam will get the real meanings. So on one side, Bhagavatam is not allowing us to become sahajiya. On another side, Bhagavatam is also hiding the inner, deeper devotional perspectives from those who are not yet qualified or eligible. Right? So that's a beautiful perspective that Acharyas give. Actually, we are not reading the letter. We are not discussing Brahmar Gita also. We are just discussing the storyline and speaking the significance of it. So these are very confidential communications. So Uddhava, the main thing is going to come now. The main subject matter for today's session is this. After Uddhava witnessed that intense display of love for Krishna as demonstrated by the gopis, his heart got even more softened and transformed. So Uddhava started reading that letter. In that letter, Krishna spoke a lot of philosophy, and then he made another statement saying that, my dear gopis, I created this situation of separation between us to intensify your love for me, to intensify your absorption in me. I'm like that. Actually, in the middle of Rasa Panchadhyaya, when Krishna disappeared from the gopis and he manifested again, all the gopis surrounded him and had a questionnaire. They gave him a multiple choice question, an MCQ with 3 options, A, B, C. let's call 1, 2, 3. The gopis said, Krishna, we know there are 3 kinds of reciprocators. We'll tell number 1, number 2, number 3. And we want you to tell which category do you belong to. Krishna said, yeah, I'm ready for the test. What are the categories? Then the gopis said, category number 1. They reciprocate with others only when they receive some love and affection. That's conditional reciprocation. They are motivated lovers. When they receive some love and affection, they reciprocate with love and affection. There's some motivation there. Second category, unmotivated lovers. Even if they don't receive any love and affection, still they selflessly offer love and affection to others. Second category of reciprocators. Then third category, they're neutral. Whether they receive love or not, they're neutral. They're indifferent. They don't reciprocate with anybody. They're in their own world. 3 categories. Which category do you belong to? Krishna. 1, 2, 3. Krishna said none of the above. I belong to 4th category. 4th category. We never put in the question. You change your question paper. So the 4th category I will dictate. I belong to that category where the reciprocator purposely doesn't reciprocate with the beloved to increase their longing for him. I purposely keep my devotees in separation, in pangs of separation, apparently not reciprocating with their love and devotion and longing and appeals, only to intensify their remembrance, intensify their love. And I enjoy that intensified love. I belong to the 4th category. Oh, all the gopis had smiles on their faces. Then Krishna revealed, actually, I don't belong to the 4th category also. I belong to the 5th category. What is the 5th category? I have no capacity to reciprocate with your love. Naparayeham niravadya samyujam. Even if you give me one full lifetime of Brahma to repay for whatever love and affection and service I have received from you, I won't be able to repay. I feel thoroughly bankrupt. I feel that I'm a pauper. I have nothing else to offer you that matches your level of devotion. I cannot offer anything in comparison to what you have offered me. Ya dustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibher vimrugyam. So you have given up everything, all the social customs and social conventions and varnashrama rules and regulations and family ties, your own womanly shyness, you have given up everything to love me, to serve me, to dedicate yourself to me. And what do I have to offer in reciprocation? I am totally incapable of reciprocating with you. Krishna said it, Naparayeham. I am incapable. So these gopis are now hearing the letter read by Uddhava. Then Uddhava said, Uddhava is reading Krishna's statements. In that Krishna is writing. Krishna said, I purposely created the situation of separation to intensify your love. Then the gopis said, Uddhava, thank you very much for coming here all the way and reading this letter. Please fold this letter, keep it in the envelope very safely, keep in your pocket. Krishna will need it in future. The way Krishna has developed a wonderful relationship with us and now he's abandoning us. Similarly, he will also come in contact with some woman in Mathura, he will also abandon them, then you can read this letter to them. They'll be impressed with this letter. I'm not impressed with this letter. We are not impressed. We want personal presence of Krishna. Where is the possibility of Krishna intensifying our loving remembrance? It's already unlimited. And it is continuously expanding it unlimitedly. So by creating a situation of separation between us, do you think Krishna will intensify our love for him? No, he will do something else. He will accomplish something else through this. What is that? Our death. So when the agony or when the anguish or the pain of separation in a person increases for the beloved, they will only die. Krishna will cause our death, and he will incur the sinful reaction of killing women. That's what the gopis said. Then, anticipating this kind of reply from the gopis, Krishna wrote another shloka in the letter already. Uddhava said, "Hey, I did not complete the letter yet. Ruko. Stop. Let me read the next line." Then Krishna said, it's an apology. He said, "I'm sorry, I have some responsibilities in Mathura, because of which I'm unable to come in front of you. But as soon as I finish these responsibilities, I will personally come to you and I will spend time with you. I'll be with you only. I will not go anywhere else. Please believe me. Please trust me. Please forgive me." Then as soon as these gopis heard that Krishna is going to come physically, personally, then they became excited. They became happy. Okay, thank you very much. This is what we want. So when Krishna spoke to the Brahmana Patnis left everything and came to Krishna. And Krishna said, "No, you cannot come like this. You cannot leave your parents and your husbands and your family members. You should go back and serve them. Shravanat, Darsana, Dhyanat, Mayi Bhavonu Kirtanat, Natatha Sannikarshena Pratiyata Tato Grahan." You will be in connection with me through Shravana, through Kirtana, through Smarana, through Dhyana, through Archana, not by physical proximity. Go and do Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Vandan. And all the simple ladies of this Brahmana ladies, they said, yes, we will go back and do Shravan, Kirtan, Vandana, Dhyana, etc. Same shloka Krishna repeated in front of the gopis. Gopis said, "No, we will not do Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Dhyan. We want your personal presence." They are at a different level, different platform only. And the sadhakastas we can only appreciate and then offer obeisances and we'll continue our Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, Dhyan. Right? Knowing that there's a lot of gap. Bhurijan Prabhupada was saying, whenever you notice this gap, you should become humble. Sometimes we think that we are so exalted devotees, right? Even Uddhava had some slight tinge of feeling like that. I'm exalted devotee. And Krishna is making him believe that, yeah, there are more exalted devotees in Vrindavan, go and witness their devotion. So, the gopis are pacified with this last statement made by Krishna. But still, the gopis came and looked in the direction of Mathura and they are just praying to Krishna. Let's see the gopis' prayer to Krishna. I think I copied the shloka here. Read. He Natha, He Rama Natha, Vrajanartharti Nashana, Magnamuddhara Govinda, Gokulam Vrijinarnavat. He Natha, He Rama Natha. Oh Lord, oh Ramanatha, oh husband of goddess of fortune, please Vrajanatha Arti Nashana. You are Vrajanatha, you are the Lord of Vrindavan, you are sitting in Mathura there. Arti Nashana, please destroy our Arti, our distress. They're praying, gopis are praying, this is Gopi Shloka. Magnam Uddhara Govinda, Gokulam Vrijinarnavat. Magnam Uddhara Govinda, we are completely immersed in anxiety. Please come and release us from this anxiety. They are praying very piteously, they were crying. Seeing their piteous appeals and prayers and tears, Uddhava felt, I have never witnessed this level of devotion, this magnitude of absorption in Krishna. Only the gopis could have done this. So he became completely humbled, Uddhava. And from the dainya of Uddhava, prema is born. Right? Definitely Uddhava had very, very elevated love and affection towards Krishna, undoubtedly. But after witnessing the love and affection of the gopis, Uddhava became very humble. So humble that he wanted to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. And this is the main subject for today's session, which we are going to conclude very soon. So Uddhava continued to stay in Vrindavan, giving his association to Vrajavasis apparently, but actually in reality he is taking association from them. He is actually trying to nourish himself by witnessing their intense level of devotion. So Uddhava stayed there for a couple of months and he sang a song praising the Vrajavasis and specifically the gopis. That song we are going to recite now. Etam param etah param tanubhrito bhuvi gopavadho Govinda eva nikhilatma nirudha bhava Vanchanti yad bhava bhiyo munayo vayam cha Kim brahma janma bhirananta katharasasya Yetah param tanubhrito bhuvi gopavadho. So these gopavadhus, the gopis of Vrindavan, are the best of all devotees of Krishna in this entire creation. Why? Govinda eva nikhila atmani rudha bhava. They attain that rudha bhava, very intense bhava, intense emotion for Krishna towards Govinda. And that intense emotion is witnessed personally by Uddhava, and he was very much appreciating. Govinda eva nikhilatmani rudha bhava. Then he said, Vanchanti yad bhava bhiyo munayo vayam cha. And this rudha bhava, this emotion for Krishna, is aspired for by great munis also, great siddhas and great yogis also are aspiring for this kind of rudha bhava. But these simple cowhead ladies, they are not scholars, they are not pandits, they are not brahmarshis or rajarshis or devarshis. They are simple village girls. But they got such intense bhava for Krishna, and even great munis are also trying to follow in their footsteps and aspiring for that bhava. Govinda eva nikhilatmani rudha bhava. That is their position. Then kim brahma janma bhirananta katharasasya. So what is the use of even getting a janma of Brahma? Even Brahma's janma is also not as great as an opportunity to follow the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on this planet to introduce us to that intense devotion of the Vraja Bhakti, Vraja Prema, especially the gopis, right? But we can develop a tinge of that, at least appreciation for that by Ananta Katharasasya, by absorbing ourselves in the unlimited glories of Krishna and discussing the pastimes of Krishna. Sravanam gives us entrance into an appreciation of that Rudha Bhava. So we cannot prematurely or immaturely enter the inner and very esoteric and elevated realms of Vrajaprema or Gopi Bhava without having sufficient qualification. But all these descriptions in Srimad-Bhagavatam are there only for us to develop that appreciation, and when we are qualified, Krishna will bestow that. At this moment, our priority is to be attentive in chanting the holy names of the Lord. I start by Sachinandan Maharaj several times throughout the everyday japa talks. And it did not stop there. So one more shloka is there. Asamaho charana renu jushamaham syam Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam Yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva Bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhir vimrugyam. This is the ultimate message of our last 2.5 hours discussion. It culminates with the aspiration of Uddhava. Uddhava came to Vrindavan and he visited several places in Vrindavan. He nourished himself by personally witnessing the bhakti in the hearts of Yashoda Mata, Nanda Maharaj, and all the Vrajavasis, and especially the gopis, and especially Srimati Radharani. And finally, what was the aspiration that he developed? Very, very important for us to meditate on this point. Sometimes when we discuss very, very high topics, we may consciously or unconsciously think that we are on that plane. But one who has actually personally witnessed that very, very high display of devotion, what is he aspiring for? You can see in this shloka, to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. That's what this shloka says. Etah param tanubhrut. Oh, not this. Asama ho charana renu jushama hamsyam. Aho. Means, alas, what a great fortune that I have witnessed such a intense display of love for Krishna in the example of gopis. Charana Renu Jushama Hamsyam. All I want is their Charana Renu, the dust from their divine lotus feet. After witnessing the gopis, Uddhava did not think that I am another gopi, or I also have that bhava. Similarly, sometimes contextually, situationally, when we discuss some of these topics, we should not think that we are on their level, but we should understand, we should follow the footsteps of the great soul, Uddhava. He says, Asama ho charana renu jushama hamsam. All I aspire for is dust from the lotus feet of these gopis. But I am a great prince. Apparently, I am a great prince from Mathura city, and these gopis are simple cowherd women. If I go and ask them, can you please give me some dust particles from your lotus feet? I have developed so much of respect for you, and I want to develop a drop of devotion that you have for Krishna. And I thought that by accepting dust from your lotus feet, I will be able to get that little drop of devotion. Can you please give me your dust? The gopis will say, no, we don't have much devotion, let's run away. So they will not give. You are such an exalted prince, you are personal associate of Krishna. We got association of Krishna only for a decade, you got for a century. So you are more exalted, they will just run away. Then Uddhava had a plan, master plan. I will become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Then, without even asking, when they stamp on me, I will get. So we are sitting on these mats. Under these mats, there are so many small creepers or small blades of grass. So Uddhava wanted to become like that. Vrindavane kimapi gulmalata ushadhinam. Then Uddhava thought, if I am not qualified to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan, at least let me get an opportunity to become a blade of grass in the outskirts of Vrindavan, little outside Vrindavan. Sometimes when these gopis happen to step out of Vrindavan, they will not go generally, but if they happen to come little on the outskirts of Vrindavan, at least then I will get their dust. Then at least I will get some little devotion to Krishna like they have. So this is what Uddhava is aspiring for. See the humility. See the extent of humility of Uddhava. Vrindavane kimapi gulmatalata ushadhinam. And next he says, what is the glory of the gopis? Yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva. Dustyajam means extremely difficult to give up. What is difficult to give up? In those days, swajanam, one's own relatives. Aryapatham, the code of conduct of civilized people. Varna dharma, ashrama dharma, whatever, social customs, very difficult to give up, but they have effortlessly given up. Yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva. Hitva, they have given up. For what? For Govinda. See the last line. Bhejur mukunda padavim. They attained mukunda padavi, the lotus feet of Lord Mukunda. Sruti bhir vimugyam. Even the personified Vedas also pursue this goal of taking shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna by following the footsteps of the gopis of Vrindavan. Therefore we have Shrutichari gopis. So Shrutis which we are studying and unable to understand, they are trying to follow the footsteps of gopis. And Uddhava is trying to become a blade of grass to get their dust from their lotus feet. So how can an immature sadhaka think that I can also become gopi? Or I am also like that, I have that feelings. One cannot prematurely or immaturely imagine oneself to be on such a high plane. Understand what Shrutis are saying, what Uddhava is aspiring for, what Brahma is aspiring for. After Brahma Vimohana Lila, Brahma says, very beautiful, he says, Aho bhagyam nanda gopa vrajokasam yanmitram paramanandam purnam brahma sanatanam. What great fortune that these gopis of Vrindavan have. Like all the gopis and gopas and all the Vrajavasis have. Yan mitram paramanandam purnam brahma sanatanam. That supreme absolute truth, the supreme Lord Krishna, became their dear friend. Mitram, he became their mitra. What great fortune. Then Brahma also asked, can I become a shrub or herb or something in Vrindavan so that I can get dust from their lotus feet? You know what Krishna did? He kept silent. He did not speak a single word. Brahma, you are asking to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan, or a shrub or a herb or a creeper in Vrindavan? Do you think you are qualified for it? Krishna is just silent. And Brahma understood Krishna's silence in his own way. Maybe Krishna thought I am not qualified for this privilege. I am not aspiring. I did not say I want to become a gopi or gopa or play with Krishna. I am only saying I want to become some blade of grass or something in Vrindavan, but Krishna is silent. I am not qualified for that also. Fine. Brahma left. And his heart is filled with humility. His heart is filled with guilt because of stealing the cowhead boys and calves from Krishna and creating separation between Krishna and his beloved Vrajavasis. At least, although from one perspective Indra's offense is much, much more grave than Brahma's offense, Brahma just wanted to play some trick for a minute. That's all. But that little trick or that little test that he wanted to conduct created 1 year of separation between Krishna and his devotees. But Indra had a more malicious intention. Indra wanted to destroy all the Vrajavasis. But that pleased Krishna more because that gave Krishna an opportunity and Vrajavasis an opportunity to come together. 7/24 they are under Govardhan. So Krishna and all the Vrajavasis were brought together by Indra's mistake. But Krishna and the Vrajavasis were separated by Brahma's mistake. Brahma felt guilty, extremely repentant. He went back to his abode. He's unable to. By the way, Brahma's mistake is under the Yogamaya potency and Indra's mistake is under Mahamaya potency. Right? Brahma is a more elevated devotee than Indra, undoubtedly. In this there is no doubt. But sometimes, although a demoniac person or a devata acting demoniacally with a malicious intention tries to disturb Krishna's pastime, somehow it happens to be a source of pleasure for Krishna also. It's nice. That's Krishna's expertise. Although we don't intend to do some service, sometimes we may end up doing that service. That's our good fortune. Therefore, Krishna did not punish Indra. So Brahma went back to his abode and Brahma was feeling repentant, intensely repentant. Then Brahma came to a place called Antardvipa. In Antardvipa, Brahma intensely prayed. Oh Lord, please forgive me, please forgive me. He's meditating on the Lord. Then our Krishna came in front of Brahma. Earlier Krishna was silent, indifferent to Brahma. But now Krishna personally came in front of Brahma in the form of golden Gauranga and said, now that you have great social status, you are little carried away by your high position as Brahma, the creator of the universe. In my next incarnation, actually Brahma desired for it. In the Lord's next incarnation, Brahma desired to be deprived of this social status and high position that made him little distracted from his emotion as a servant of Krishna. Right? So Brahma is Prajapatinam Abhivanditah Pati. Soham Samamnaya Mayah Chatur Tapomayah. There's a shloka in the second canto, 7th chapter. It says all the great Prajapatis and Manus and Saptarshis and the Devatas and Indra and everybody comes and offers obeisances to Brahma. And Brahma is so exalted that within 1 day of Brahma, the universal management changes 14 times. Just like here, it changes every 5 years, right? So within 1 day of Brahma, he has to see 14 Indras, 14 Manus, 14 sets of Devatas, 14 sets of Saptarshis. That's the position of Brahma. And Brahma is desiring, let me not have that position. I don't want to be Brahma. Parameshti position made me distracted from my servitude towards Krishna. Therefore, I should get rid of this position. Let me be a mlecha. Let me be a yavana. Let me not have any social respect. Let me be like an untouchable. I want that kind of situation so that I can helplessly chant the holy names of Krishna. And he became Haridas Thakur. Brahma when he identified himself with his position as the creator of the universe, could not understand the glories of Vrindavan. Even when he came to Vrindavan, he could not understand the glories of Krishna, even when he saw Krishna and witnessed Krishna's nice leelas on the bank of Yamuna. But when that Brahma became Haridas Thakur, he became Namacharya in a humble state of mind. He never came to Vrindavan, but he is more dear to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. On the first day of Leela Kirtan, Maharaj was very beautifully describing the departure of Haridas Thakur, how he desired to chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya and then depart from this world. So amazing. So, in short, the lesson here is only in a humble state of mind we can chant the holy names of Krishna. We can appreciate the glory of Vrindavan Dham. And in such a humble state of mind, devotee aspires to become dust particle at the lotus feet of the devotees like these gopis or any other devotee who has such intense devotion for Krishna, or become a blade of grass or a creeper in Vrindavan. Doesn't think oneself to be qualified to be Gopa or Gopi or play with Krishna, feed Krishna, I will become mother of Krishna, and feel intense separation from Krishna. All the Goswamis are saying, He Radhe Vrajadevi Kecha Lalite, He Nanda Suno Kutah. They are not saying that I have seen Krishna in my dream, I had this reciprocation with Krishna. They are saying, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And Mahaprabhu did not give very, very elaborate process of sadhana. If you see Sikshashtakam, the third shloka, simple. Yesterday we discussed second shloka elaborately. Nam namakari bahudani sarva shakti. Right? But the last line is Durdaivam idrushamiha jani na anuragaha. My Durdaivam, my misfortune is I have no anuraga, I have no taste, I have no attraction towards Krishna's names, although he is supremely attractive. How to develop that attraction? How to develop the taste for Krishna's names? Answer is given in the next shloka. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishtuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi. Trinadapi sunichena. Become more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. What is this? Being humbler than a blade of grass. Uddhava wants to be a blade of grass. Being humbler than a blade of grass. Prabhupada says, one step ahead. Now you see, being humble like a blade of grass is one statement. Being humbler than a blade of grass is a more intense statement. But Prabhupada makes even more intense statement. Be humble like a straw on the street. At least blade of grass is green, still connected to the ground, grounded, has an opportunity to grow. Even if somebody tramples on it, after a while at least it can grow again. But a straw on the street has no opportunity to grow. It's brown, it's yellow, it's completely dry. Be more humbler than a straw on the street. This is what Prabhupada says. You can read, I think, some lecture or some purport. Prabhupada writes this. Being more humbler than a straw on the street. I am insignificant. Humility is not self-pity. Humility is not inferiority complex. Humility is not just feeling oneself incapable. Yes, a humble devotee feels oneself incapable, but that kind of a sense of lack of sufficiency or lack of power, that alone is not necessarily humility. Sometimes it could be a symptom of self-absorption or self-obsession or inferiority complex. But real humility is to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, source of everything. I am an insignificant servant of Krishna. Real humility lies in rejecting all the pleasures for oneself and considering oneself as an insignificant and humble servant of Krishna and his devotees, and dedicating oneself completely as a servant of Krishna, as Mahaprabhu established in the 5th shloka of Sikshashtakam. That is, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram. That mode of being Kinkara is what we are trying to aspire for. So, what we can learn from Uddhava is this mode of humility. There's no end to elaborating this subject of humility. So we may discuss some exalted subject matter in the context with the blessings of great souls, with the request of great souls. However, we need to also meditate on the essential message that this episode is giving us, which is relevant to us in our level of sadhaka, as sadhakas. That is Uddhava's aspiration to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan, and Mahaprabhu's ultimate message, Pranadapi Suniche. What's the time now?
1:20.
Oh, I went beyond time. I'm really sorry. Sorry. Maharaj, we have two Maharajas here, and Raghunath Prabhu. If you want to add anything, subtract anything, more reflections or corrections, Maharaj, I'll be grateful to hear a few words from you. Mike, does it go there? Maybe we should have only Q&A in the next session. I will not start. Next class only. If I start, I may not stop.
Hare Krishna. This was a marathon. But very, very nice. I made a note here about one thing, and I have a question about something else. When it came to the time when Nanda Baba and the Brijbasis wanted to return to Vrindavan, at that time, this discussion took place, which you have given. Let us see, there's a storm in the mic here. Devaki and Vasudev wanted to have Balaram, who was, Vasudev wanted to have a Balaram there, but Krishna didn't want to go without Balaram to Vrindavan. And now Nanda Maharaj had two options. Would he take Balaram to Vrindavan and make Vasudev suffer, or would he allow Krishna to stay in Vrindavan and he himself suffered? And he decided to give pleasure to Vasudev. Perhaps he thought Krishna was now with me for something like 11 years, so now Vasudev's time has come. So during this time, something very interesting happened, according to Gopal Champu. When Nanda Maharaj left to go to Vrindavan, Krishna jumped on the chariot of Nanda Maharaj in an invisible Bhava Rupa. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and went to Vrindavan. Now the proof for and played in Vrindavan always with the gopis in an uppercut way. Now the proof for this is found in a beautiful letter. As we know, Mother Yashoda always pined and cried for Krishna when he had left to Mathura. In fact, I heard once when Uddhava wanted to, who came as a messenger by Krishna, of Krishna, to Vraj, when he wanted to find where is Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda living, some residents of Vrindavan pointed to a canal of water, a channel of water. This channel had been filled by the tears of Yashoda, who cried in the absence of Krishna. But Krishna maintained that, no, Mother, I am in Vrindavan. I'm in a form playing as a spruti, as an appearance in your heart, in a bhava form. And the proof is this. I know exactly what you cooked for me when I was not in Vrindavan. Since the time when I left for Mathura, you cooked every day a preparation. So on the first day, there was kheer. On the second day, you served me roti with butter. On the third day, I forgot the preparation, but Krishna named the preparation. I came there. Don't you see? I remember the food which you cooked for me, and I ate it. And this brings the discussion to a very interesting form, level. That is, Vrindavan is a land of bhava. Krishna stays eternally in Vrindavan and never leaves Vrindavan, but he stays here in the form of the bhava, of an emotional form. It's a very subtle thing. And if you want to come to Vrindavan and stay here, you must hear Krishna Katha, like we just did, and in this way develop deep feelings for Krishna. And then you might see him many times when you stay in Vrindavan, either as his arrangement for you, or when you chant, you all of a sudden seem to step, here's my new American word, on a live wire. That means an electrical wire that is alive. You feel, oh my God, this is unknown to me, such devotional feelings. But the main point, idea is, if you want to make contact with Krishna now in Vrindavan, you need to do this by an increased level of consciousness, of devotion for Krishna, and that happens when we hear such kathas. So I want to thank you very much. It is very, very life-giving, although the body is it's a little tired because of sitting, but the heart is joyful, very joyful. Thank you very much, and all of us. This is important. I talked today to a dear friend, and I said, you came all this way, and he said, yes, I have to hear. We have to hear about Krishna. This is required if you want to stay in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Since you asked me to say something, I'm trying. I hope it made sense. But so many wonderful points you say. May Krishna bless you. May Giriraj bless you. You are young and energetic, and your memory is like 1,000 computers of shlokas. May this go on and on and on. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Just very briefly, we see Vrindavan has exploded, or this night it will explode even more, in the celebration of Shivaratri, Mahashivaratri, I understand. I never quite figured out what is the history behind it, and do you have an idea what is Mahashivaratri?
I don't.
You, out of shyness, you don't want to say?
Honestly.
Honestly, you don't know?
If someone else might.
Anyone knows? Should we not know? Or we Google or go to your chat 1008 times in Maya, and then it will also give you some good information. We can do that. Looking at the wristwatch, we have time for 3 more minutes, but do we want to call it perhaps an end here? Good. My dear devotees, thank you for your participation. this is the way to stay good in Krishna consciousness, to hear. I think from my heart to our dear guests, our Maharaji has come, our Raghunath has come, our Meera has come, our Bill has come. Bill? What? Your good name? Paul, equally as good. Our Paul has come, the motorcycle driver Paul, and very nice. Please feel always encouraged to come. Just for you to take note of, this afternoon we will leave at 4:30 sharp to